A wise man once said, "Sometimes the best revenge is to smile and move on." But that's not exactly what happens in this game. This game took place about a month ago between Felix Lingel, also known as xQc, and a chess.com user named Penguin, with the penguin as his profile picture. I know this isn't exactly the same penguin that xQc has faced in the past, but whatever, it counts. Although the game report says the accuracy is 93.5%, it says in his game's archive that it's closer to 96%. So perhaps it differs a bit based on the depth. But that's not really why I chose the game. The real reason is that it's a perfect game by xQc, with 0 mistakes. And it shows that he can perform well over 1000 rating when he's at his best. So without further ado, let's jump into the game. He starts with e4, best by test. Penguin responds with c5, the Sicilian defense. Not a very good opening choice for a 1000 rated player, but it's fine. Then, knight f3, Penguin plays knight to c6, then bishop to b5. A very common line played in over 30,000 games in the database. Penguin has a few choices here. He can play g6, or e6, or d6. So he plays a6 instead. It's not a very good move because the bishop wants to take the knight anyway, ruining black's pawn structure. So xQc, with his deep understanding of the position, of course, takes on c6. Then, Penguin plays knight to f6. The best move in this position is to play e5 to grab more space, or defend the pawn with the rook, but knight to c3 is also good. Then, the opponent plays the best move, which is striking in the center with d5. So xQc plays e5 in this position, forcing black's knight to move. Black makes a mistake by playing knight to g4, because it can be easily kicked away. Knight to d7 would have been a much better alternative. xQc then plays d3, preparing to develop the bishop. Black plays e6. Then, xQc plays h3, intending to kick the knight away, and then take it with the bishop to further damage black's pawn structure. But Penguin makes his intentions very clear. He says, "I literally don't care about the knight." This may look like an insane move, but this is actually the second best move in this position. It's a very well-known trap called the fishing pole. I made a video about it a month ago. Unfortunately for Penguin, it doesn't really work in this position. So as any principled player would do, xQc takes the knight. And on the next move the idea behind the sacrifice becomes very clear. Penguin plays queen to h4, threatening mate in 1. In this position, xQc finds the only move that doesn't lose the game on the spot. He plays the great move bishop to f4, defending the knight. Black plays g5, trying to distract white's bishop from defending the knight. But xQc just drops it back to g3, gaining a tempo on the queen. Black moves his queen to h5. So xQc plays queen takes g4, offering a queen trade because he's up material. But Penguin is obviously not interested in a queen trade, and drops back to g6. Then, xQc plays f4, so Penguin defends the pawn with the bishop. He doesn't need to take the pawn right away, so instead he shifts his focus to the other side of the board. He attacks the c-pawn with the knight. Penguin plays rook to b8. This is a very good move, counter-attacking xQc's pawn on b2. But xQc wants to win pawns not trade, so he pushes the pawn to b3. Black then pushes the pawn to c4, and a few pawns get traded. Then, the black queen takes on c2. In this position, the black queen is threatening to take the knight. But xQc is aware of the danger levels concept, and plays the great move, f takes g5. And since Penguin doesn't intend on trading pieces when he's down material, he retreats his bishop to g7, and xQc moves his knight out of danger. Black then plays rook to b2, which may I say, is the only sign you need to know that the end of this game will be quick. Yes, I'm pretending like the analysis tab on the right never existed. So anyway, xQc does not blunder mate in 1. Penguin on the other hand, blunders mate in 8. So xQc immediately spots the whole sequence, starting with queen takes c6, then king to d8, rook to d1, queen to d5, rook takes d5 check, e takes d5, queen takes d5 check, king to e7, queen takes f7 check, king to d8, rook to d1 check, rook to d2, rook takes d2 check, bishop to d7, and queen takes d7, checkmate. But Penguin says, I'm not gonna let you deliver mate in 8, so I'm gonna blunder mate in 2 instead.